What's up, guys? Welcome to the New Score podcast. My name is Pat. If you're on YouTube right now, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Appreciate the support. Thank you for listening. Today is going to be our week 2 rant, the NFL season, and it's related to Bryce Young just getting benched as the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers after they lose 26-3 yesterday in their home debut. And it didn't look good week 1 either for this team. So I just finished watching that entire game yesterday. Went back and looked every snap Bryce Young took yesterday. So I got some notes and we're going to get into that. But before we do that, I just want to kind of bring up the Carolina Panthers, this organization that he's a part of, for a second. Last offseason leading up to the draft, this team traded multiple assets to go up to number 1 to take their guy. And at the time, obviously, it was either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud was going to be 1, 2, those two guys as far as quarterbacks. You don't do that if you're a bad team. The only time you ever trade up multiple assets, multiple future picks to go up to get the first quarterback in a draft is if you're a team that's a quarterback away. So like the Bears, for example, they're a perfect example of they had it all going on. Defensively, they got the weapons in the offseason. They were just missing that guy at quarterback. That's a team where a quarterback goes into a great situation. It's a great fit. The Carolina Panthers, though, are a long ways away from having just a quarterback come in and save the day. So just going back to last season, this kid, as I addressed before, was thrown into the fire week 1 when he wasn't ready. Organization's a mess. They fire his first head coach midway through the season. So he's just in a full-on dumpster fire his rookie season in the NFL. He's not getting better. He's developing bad habits. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's just like a snowball effect to the point where this season we're seeing these first 2 games, the result of those bad habits that he developed last season with an awful O-line, bad scheme, no weapons. He did not develop the right internal clock as a quarterback in the NFL because they didn't give him any time, any help. And then his head coach gets fired. Not to mention, before he got fired, I don't know if you guys remember, back and forth they were going play calling duties. That team last year was like, no, this week he's going to call the plays. Oh, next week he's going to call the plays. It's hard enough for a rookie quarterback coming into the NFL to have to deal with that kind of indecisiveness in just on your coaching staff. And then you got the owner, getting news headlines too. The whole organization. Before I talk about Bryce Young, the quarterback, I just want to let it be known that there's not a lot of guys that step into the situation, the hand that he was given, and look like quality quarterback in the NFL at this point. And then his height just makes it even more difficult for him. So if you got all these bad habits and you're limited in arm strength, you're limited in just height, being able to see certain things that most quarterbacks can see. It's not a good combination. So, but once again, that's the product we're seeing right now. But let's get into that game from yesterday because there's a lot to talk about with it. So right off the bat, I thought Carolina's defense stepped up. First half of that game, I thought that unit I feel horrible for. I just feel awful for that defense because I didn't think their defense was going to be very good this year, just looking at it on paper. But that team really, that unit competed yesterday and they made some plays. And JC Horn is an absolute dog. He had a strip fumble. I thought it should have been called a strip fumble. They ended up saying it was incomplete, but that was real early in the game. And then a couple plays after that is when Quentin Johnson beat him for a touchdown, but it was still great coverage, just even better throw, better catch. And then a little whiles after that, JC Horn did get an interception. And I also saw him come in on a short 3rd-and-1 run play right up the gap, and he just stuffed the guy. And it's like for a cornerback, he's just wasting away on that team. I feel awful for him. Chuba Hubbard can run the rock. I mean, I know he's stuck in Carolina. Not a lot of people know about Chuba Hubbard because you're not really watching the Panthers, I would assume, at this point. But folks, Chuba Hubbard averaged 6.4 yards per carry yesterday. And that O-line was getting a push. So it's not the O-line anymore. It's a combination of other things, which I'm about to dive into. But I just wanted to say I feel awful for that defense because they really played their asses off. The offense did not get a first down in this game the entire first quarter. The entire first quarter, they did not get a first down. So it was 3 possessions, 3 and out. Fans are already starting to boo first quarter, and you're asking your defense to come back out on the field again and again and again without any rest on the sideline. And that's going to build some tension in the locker room for sure. Another thing, 2 plays in this game, the Panthers ran a formation under center. I just feel like you're completely limiting yourself as an offense when you're lining up in shotgun or pistol every single play. 2 times yesterday, they lined up under center. I don't know if it's a preference thing. Bryce doesn't like being under center, but he's got to get over that if that's the case, because you got to be able to line up under center in the NFL because defenses are too good. Defensive coordinators pick up too much. There's too many clues out there. You can't just line up in pistol and shotgun every single play. You can't do it. Especially, like I said, that O-line was getting a great push yesterday. Like, you can run on some teams. You have the ability to run. You paid Miles Sanders. He's out there, limited time, limited role, but he's capable. You got Chuba Hubbard. You're going to have the rookie, Jonathan Brooks, coming back. Run the ball. Line up under center. And take it out of your quarterback's hands because your quarterback is not making good decisions. First blitz of the game in that first quarter. Bryce snaps the ball, and there's clearly 2 blitzers coming in, one from the right, one from the left, D-backs, free roaming, and you could tell they're not going to get picked up. He takes the snap. They don't change any coverage on the offensive line, takes the snap, and he immediately has to roll left. So he's rolling left, looking, while all these Chargers defenders are swarming in on him. Meanwhile, Chuba Hubbard leaks out probably 7 yards in front of him. All he had to do was just dump it off. Chuba Hubbard was right there. He had plenty of space. He would have got the first down and more. And Bryce is just sitting there with the ball. He's waiting, and then he just gets drilled by Denzel Perryman. Just absolutely comes in and lights him up. It's like, you cannot be taking those hits if you're Bryce Young. You got to get rid of the ball. And there's a guy literally leaking out right in front of you. He just doesn't, he's very indecisive. He's not confident at all. And he's not moving his eyes. Like, he's just not seeing things downfield. multiple times yesterday, Adam Thielen was getting open downfield, and he's just not progressing through his reads. They'll have these, they called multiple like quick screens where they would get like a decent chunk play. That's not Bryce making the decision. When he had to make any decision himself yesterday, he's not progressing downfield. He's seeing that first option that's in the flat, and he's getting rid of the ball because he's uncomfortable in the pocket. His legs are shaking. He's not standing firm in the pocket. He wants to run around. He doesn't feel anything. He doesn't feel pressure. And then when there is no pressure, he's bailing. He's completely bailing out of the pocket because, like I said, he's just got PTSD from last year, all of those hits that he took. He has just no comfort in that pocket right now to progress downfield with his reads. There were multiple plays where it was 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14 yesterday, and he's getting rid of the ball when he doesn't have to get rid of it yet to guys in the flat to pick up 6, 7 yards. And then there go the Boo Birds. It's just not, it's not good. It's not good fundamental quarterback play right now. He's uncomfortable. He looks shook out there. I do want to say, though, Quentin Johnson, that second touchdown, again, the defense was out on the field essentially the whole first half. But that was a very bad blown coverage. Quentin Johnson was wide open for that second touchdown, which made it 13-0. Carolina gets the ball back, right? 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That's when they got their first down of the game. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That's when they got their first down of the game. Chuba Hubbard rips a run right up the gut. In the place, you could start hearing, the sarcastic cheers of, oh my God, we got a first down. Hubbard's fired up. And now to get to the coach, Canales, the play caller, very next play, you line up empty. Your O-lines have been busting them first half if you would just commit to the run. You bust off an 11-yard gain on the ground. Very next play, your quarterback who doesn't look comfortable out there at all, you go empty with him back there and receivers split out. And you know what happened that play? He forced the ball in a double coverage. There's 4 Chargers defenders in the middle of the field, and he's forcing a ball where you could see it from any angle. It's like, what does this guy see? What is he looking at? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like he's picking before the play where he's going, and then he's going there. And that's it. That's all that matters. What happens after the snap isn't impacting his decision making at all. And when he threw that pick, you're like, yep, this game's over. Right after that, J.K. Dobbins breaks a 50-yard touchdown. So it's like that defense, man, they just got to be like, fuck, like, what do we have to score? Like, is that what we have to do? We have to score touchdowns on defense. That made it 20-0. Next drive, third quarter, I want to talk about. It's 3rd and 5 in the red zone. And Bryce takes a snap and shotgun. And he's got time. And you can visibly see his legs just shaking in the pocket. He wants to get rid of that ball. The ball's like a hot potato. That's what it looked like to me. It's like, I need to get rid of this thing as fast as possible because I don't want to get hit. And he forced it. He forced it on a tough 7-yard outplay to Deontay Johnson. It would have been a great throw. But he didn't make that throw. And it wasn't an easy throw, and it was a bad decision. Because he wanted to get rid of the ball. He bailed. So final stat line for Bryce Young yesterday ended up being 18 for 26 for 84 yards. QBR rating of 6.4. This is a combination of things. That's why I wanted to go all over it. I think that he can be set up much better than he has been. I mean, the rookie season, it's a wash. If we can give Trevor Lawrence an excuse for his rookie season, we could do it for Bryce Young. But right now, this season, these first 2 games, sample size, it doesn't look good for Bryce Young. It doesn't look like he has grown at all over the offseason, which makes me wonder is it going to get better? Is it going to get better in Carolina, or is it going to take him to leave Carolina and get paired up, with one of these quarterback whisperers somewhere and see if they can turn him around? I just know that right now I don't see it working. I don't see him sitting behind Andy Dalton getting better from that. I think that this dude just needs a complete reset. Getting benched going into week 3 of your sophomore season as a quarterback dismantles any confidence that he had left. His confidence was already shot enough where I don't know if you can make it much worse, and you're going to lose the locker room if you don't bench that guy for how he played. I completely understand that. But looking at it from Bryce's point of view, getting benched right now, this early, I don't know how you come back from that in the same environment in Carolina. I don't see it happening. And I feel bad for the kid because he wasn't ready last season as a rookie to play, let alone play for the worst team in the NFL. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Carolina, but if David Tepper ever needs to sell tickets throughout the season, he can always call up Cam Newton and have him come play for him, because Cam will be entertaining at least, and he'll put fans in the seats. So that would be interesting. But that is it for my week 2 rant. Bryce Young getting benched. Hopefully he can learn from this and get better. But I'm just saying I don't know if it's going to be possible to win over that locker room with what's already occurred. And it's unfortunate. It's obviously not all on him at all, but hoping that the kid could turn around. But that is it. Make sure you stay tuned later on this week for our week 2 recap. We're going to be going through all of these games. And then later in the week, we're going to get into week 3. So don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore. Money kissing each other like a rock and roll tour. When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore. Money kissing each other like a rock and roll.